Good morning, students. Let us today discuss about remaining first chapter of 10th class topic. Here, you observe that here. Do you know here? If a cell is broken up, the chloroplast also break into pieces. So it becomes a very difficult task to isolate them to study the different steps of photosynthesis. So it is important in 1954. In 1954, Daniel I. Arnon, scientist, he broken the plant cell and separated the chloroplast. So he obtained the chloroplast, and these chloroplast already we know that they are the cell organelles which are responsible for to carry out photosynthesis. So the question is, who broken the cell and extracted the chloroplast from the cell means Daniel I. Arnon. Daniel I. Arnon is a scientist who broken the cell and extracted the chloroplast. So this is the chloroplast. It is a green colored cell organelle. So the cell organelle, where it is present, inside the cell, inside the plant cell. So this type of chloroplasts are identified, separated from the cell by the Daniel I. Arnon. So this is keep in our mind. In 1954, Daniel Arnon, he broken the cell and separated the chloroplast, and he explained that chloroplast could carry through the photosynthesis. Now let us discuss about one important cell organelle in the plants. So that here the chloroplasts are the green colored cell organelles which are present in the all the green plants, all the green plants. So these chloroplasts were first discovered by Skimper. Chloroplast who discovered? Skimper. First the chloroplasts are discovered by Skimper. So the chloroplasts are the double membrane surrounded cell organelles. Doubled membrane surrounded cell organelles. So here when we take inside the chloroplast, there will be a liquid is present. This is called stroma. Whatever this green colored liquid is called what? Stroma. In the stroma we can see number of other parts. So like starch grains, and lipid globules and loop of DNA. Loop of DNA means genetic material also present in this chloroplast. Genetic material, but this genetic material is only minute, means a small amount only present in this cell organelle. So when we go to that about other parts, there will be a in other we can see that bunches of, so here. So these are called thylakoids. These thylakoids arranged one above the other. So like this is one thylakoid, this is one thylakoid, this is one thylakoid, but all together they arranged. So hence this is called grana thylakoid. If the all thylakoids together, they are like piles of coins. Piles of coins means when we keep the coins one over the another one, like 1 rupee coin, after that 50 NP, like whatever may be coins, same coins also keep one by the one. So like that only these thylakoids are arranged one above the another and form a group. So that group is called granum. That group is called what? Granum. All the thylakoids together form a group that is called what? Granum. So are grana thylakoids. So these grana thylakoids, this is one grana thylakoid, this is one grana thylakoid, but this grana thylakoid is connected with this grana thylakoid. So this is connecting this grana thylakoid and this grana thylakoid. Hence it is called what? stroma lamellae. Stroma lamellae. Why? Because it is present in the stroma. So this is total stroma. This stroma lamellae is connecting to thylakoid, grana thylakoid. Hence it is called stroma lamellae. Now let us discuss about mainly um, the pigments which are present in the this chloroplast. So there will be a two types of pigments we can see, uh, mainly chlorophyll A and chlorophyll B. So chloroplast, inside the chloroplast, which pigment is there? Chlorophyll. So chlorophyll generally mainly two types: chlorophyll A, chlorophyll B. So when we go to that, like in our body, the blood is red in color. So here also, why the blood is red in color? Because of presence of pigment. Here also, plants, why they are green color means because of presence of pigment is called chlorophyll. So in our body, blood is red color due to presence of hemoglobin pigment. Whereas in plants, green color because of the presence of chlorophyll pigment. So the two major kinds of chlorophylls are associated with the thylakoid membrane. Means here what we see that on the thylakoid membrane, these chlorophyll pigments are present. There are two. The chlorophyll A, chlorophyll A. So chlorophyll is generally which color? Blue green in color. Blue green in color. Chlorophyll A in which color? Blue green in color. Chlorophyll B is yellow green color. So generally around 250 to 400 pigments molecules are grouped as light harvesting complexes or photosynthetic units of granum. Means here one thing you have to remember: to carry out photosynthesis, these chlorophyll pigments, nearly 400 pigments together form as a light harvesting complexes, LHC. LHC, light harvesting complexes, in which there will be nearly 400 chlorophyll pigments are present. Then they should carry out the photosynthesis. And when we go to that, mainly functions of chloroplast means cell organelle. What are the functions of chloroplast? So there will be three functions we can see regarding to the chloroplast. Number one, conversion of light energy into chemical energy. Means here these in light harvesting complexes, the chlorophyll pigments, they can capture the sunlight. They can capture the sunlight and convert into chemical energy. For example, here when the light is focuses, here what happened? That is in the form of electricals, and they may convert into chemical energy. Means light energy is converting into chemical energy. And splitting of water molecule. So here whatever water molecules present in that chloroplast and plant body, they are split by the these in the chloroplast. Reduction of carbon dioxide into carbohydrates means CO2 into glucose, C6H12O6. C6H12O6 means carbon dioxide into glucose. So carbon dioxide into carbohydrate means carbon dioxide to glucose. So these are the three functions by the chloroplast. Chloroplasts. So once again, remember chloroplasts. The functions of chloroplast are three: conversion of light energy into chemical energy, splitting of water molecule, and reduction of carbon dioxide to carbohydrates. So next, go to that another important topic about mechanism of photosynthesis. Mechanism of photosynthesis. So here So now let us discuss about the important 4 marks question in 10th class examination, the mechanism of photosynthesis. Mechanism of photosynthesis. So photosynthesis generally consists of two phases. That is number one, light dependent reactions are also called photochemical phase and also called light reactions. Light reactions. So light dependent reactions are photochemical phase light reactions, whereas another second mechanism of photosynthesis is light independent reaction or biosynthetic phase. So that here the mechanism of photosynthesis to it consists two phases. One is photochemical phase and second one is biosynthetic phase. And light dependent reactions and light independent reactions. Now let us discuss about the first phase of the mechanism of photosynthesis. So the first phase of mechanism of photosynthesis is light dependent reactions and photochemical phase. So the in this now light dependent reactions or photochemical phase and light reactions means the reactions which are takes place in the presence of light. So light depend means they depend on light, so that they are light dependent reactions or photochemical phase. So here the light reactions means the reactions which are occurred only in the presence of light. In this light phase or light reactions and light dependent reactions, there will be three phases are there. Step 1, step 2, step 3. So in what happens in step 1, the chlorophyll is exposed to the light and get activated, and by absorbing the photons. Photon is the smallest unit of light energy. Means here in first step you can remember chlorophyll get activated, means the chlorophyll pigment receives the sunlight and get activated. That activated chlorophyll is light activated chlorophyll. Second step, the energy is used in splitting the water molecule into two components ion named hydrogen and hydroxyl ion. So this reaction is known as photolysis. Photo means light, lysis means breakdown. So here this because of H2O is a water molecule and is breaking down by the chlorophyll pigment, which is light activated. So and when the water molecule is broken up by the light activated chlorophyll, now the protons and hydroxyl ion should come out. Protons and hydroxyl ion. So the process of breaking down of water molecule by the light activated chlorophyll is called photolysis of water. Photolysis of water. So photolysis of water means what? Breaking down of water molecule by the light activated chlorophyll is called photolysis of water or photolysis of water. Like this we should write. Photolysis of water. So photo means light, lysis means breakdown. So this was discovered by Hill, hence this reaction is called what? Hill reaction. Because of the splitting of water molecule by the light activated chlorophyll was discovered by the Hill, hence this reaction name is what? Hill's reaction. Now in third step, in light dependent reactions, The highly reactive ions of water undergo quick change as described below. So here what happens, whatever protons are used to mean to form the ATP and NADPH, NADP, and so here mainly OH ions through a series of steps produces water and oxygen. Water and oxygen. So when from the OH, here what happens, ions through a series of steps and reactions and forms the oxygen. And here whatever protons here these protons are responsible to move undergo series changes in the dark reaction, and their protons are responsible to form mainly ATP and NADPH. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. ATP means adenosine triphosphate. It is called energy currency. Energy currency means plants utilize these ATPs to carry out several activities. So adenosine triphosphate, and this is also NADPH. Also, it is one of the energy having molecule. It is also used by the plants to carry out metabolic activities. The NADPH, the full form is nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide hydrogen phosphate. NADPH means nicotinamide adenosine dinucleotide hydrogen phosphate are formed at the end of the light reaction. So here what you have to remember, in light reactions three products we can see. One is oxygen, and second one is ATP, and third one is NADPH. So that here you have to remember what are the end products in the light dependent or light reactions or photochemical reaction: oxygen, ATP, NADPH. So there is a question, what are the products in the light reactions means oxygen, ATP, and NADPH. Now let us go to that dark reactions. Dark reactions, so also called, so these are the dark reactions. Light independent means to carry out these reactions there is no light. This is called biosynthetic phase. So dark reactions also called light independent reactions or biosynthetic phase. So these reactions does not require any light to carry out reactions. So this here they given these light independent reactions also called what? Dark reactions or biosynthetic phase. In this mainly whatever ATPs and NADPH and ATPs are utilized. While utilizing ATP and NADPH, the carbon dioxide is converted into glucose. Carbon dioxide is converted into the glucose. So that here in dark reactions or in second step of mechanism of photosynthesis, what happen? Carbon dioxide is converted into glucose, C6. So in dark reactions, the carbon dioxide is converted into glucose. Glucose, the chemical formula is what? C6H12O6. So the question is, in light independent reactions or biosynthetic phase, what are the products means? Glucose. Glucose is the only product in the dark reactions. So next when you go to the about the glucose chemical formula C6H12O6. So this synthesis occurs in a number of steps using the certain in forming intermediate compounds mainly RUBP. It is important. RUBP means ribulose bisphosphate. It is a 5-carbon compound which can fix the carbon dioxide and convert into glucose. So one thing you have to remember, RUBP is a 5-carbon compound and which fix the carbon dioxide and convert into glucose. So here by the number of enzymes, so the finally carbon dioxide is converted to glucose. So the main involvement of this protein is RUBP, ribulose bisphosphate. So plants are capable for surviving under a range of situations from very hot to dry, brightly lighted conditions, wet, humid, and dim light. The requirement of light and other factors varies from one plant to the another plant. So that different, because of the plants living in different areas, they are affected by the different climatic conditions. So that here there some plants exposed by bright light, some plants exposed low light. So in this way, the rate of photosynthesis also determine the number of factors depending on the number of leaves, depending on the height of the plant, depending on the branches. So if the more and more leaves having the plant can have ability, should have ability to prepare the photosynthesis. Now let us discuss autotrophic nutrition is over. Now heterotrophic nutrition. Now let us discuss about heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition means, hetero means different, trophic means food. So the organisms which can depends upon on other organisms food, so that is called heterotrophic nutrition. So heterotrophic nutrition, in which organisms cannot prepare their own food, they depends upon on other organisms, it is called heterotrophic nutrition. Many organisms should follow except plants. So plants and blue green algae are they can prepare their own food. Rest of the other organisms like animals and human being, they are comes under heterotrophic nutrition because of they won't prepare their own food. So plants are autotrophic, animals and human being and other organisms are heterotrophic, they exhibit. So in the living world, all organisms are capable of surviving other different conditions, acquiring their food in different ways. We have studied the organisms that can capture light to produce their food. So the organisms which can capture light and prepare the food are called autotrophic. But here, these in heterotrophic, they cannot capture the light, they won't prepare their own food. That depends upon other organisms, hence it is called heterotrophic nutrition. So how do organisms obtain their nutrition? So some of the organisms, so when you take mainly bread molds, yeast and mushrooms, so these are belongs to fungi group. So they are heterotrophic, means they obtain food materials from other dead and decaying organisms and other contaminated places, these bread molds and yeast and mushrooms. So mushrooms, already you know that in Telugu it is puttagodugulu. So these are belongs to fungi and which are called saprophytes. Sappro means which feed from the dead and decaying organisms. Sappro means what? The organisms which can obtain food materials from the dead and decaying material. Dead and decaying. They are also some of the decomposers also participate, but here mainly saprophytes, they obtain materials from, for example, bread molds. They may mainly seen on bread. Yeast, so yeast are the used in the bakery to preparation of bread and cakes. Mushrooms, they are also grown on manure heaps. పెంటకుప్పలలో పెరుగుతాయి ఇవి mushrooms. So they are mainly obtain nutrients in that way. So hence they are called what? Saprophytes. So here some of the other organisms derive nutrition from plants and animals without killing them. So here some of the organisms, they obtain nutrients by killing the other organisms. That is called parasitic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition means some of the organisms obtain nutrients after killing the other organisms. So when you take the plant mainly, here one of the Cuscuta plant is there. Cuscuta later we will study. It is a plant, and lice, it is a animal, leeches and tapeworm. You know that lice and leeches, so they are mainly head in our head. They may live and suck the blood, lice and leeches. And these lice and leeches also sometimes lives on the cattle's and other bodies. They may suck the blood. Tapeworm also lives in our body. It calls diseases to us. So here what happened? Tapeworm, leech and lice, they they live in other organisms, and they may obtain the nutrients from the other organisms. So here what happened? By causing diseases, these three obtaining the nutrients. So this is called parasitic nutrition. Parasitic means here one organism is causes to the diseases, and then it obtains the nutrients from other organisms. It is called parasitic nutrition. So others like in whole material and break it down inside their bodies. So just now I said uh, mainly some of the organisms, they may after death they may degrade, and they obtain the nutrients. They are called decomposers. So that here once have a glance here: heterotrophic nutrition, saprophytes, parasitic nutrition, and a decomposer types of nutrition. So let us here see that since the food, the way it is obtained, different digestive system is also different in organisms. So the obtaining of or the taking of food material is different by the different organisms. Why? Because some of the organisms are single cellular, some of the organisms are multicellular. So that the type of food is determined the that their body of organism. So if the single cell organisms, when you take like amoeba, like like when you take the like amoeba, the food may be taken by the entire surface, but as the complex of the organism increases, different parts become specialized for some different functions. So single cellular organisms mainly obtain by through the body surfaces. So when you take that the amoeba figure, amoeba takes in food using the temporary finger like extension is called pseudopodia. So amoeba obtain the food materials by a leg-like structure is called pseudopodia of the cell surface, and which fuse over the food and particles for forming food vacuoles. So inside the food vacuole, complex substances are broken into simple ones, then diffuse into the cytoplasm. The remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. So in paramecium, which is also a unicellular organism, the cell has a definite shape. Food is taken into a specific spot. So uh, food is moved to the spot by the movement of cilia, which covers the entire surface of the cell. So where the food is ingested in cytostome. So here there is a pictures are there. Amoeba. So amoeba, it is a food material. It is taken up with the pseudopodia. It is a false leg pseudopodia. Here first of all what's happening? This is the absorbing by this one and sending into the cytoplasm whatever important material. Whatever undigested one is comes outside. Whatever completely digested goes inside. So in this way, pseudopodia is used to obtain the materials in amoeba. You know that amoeba is a single cellular organism which belongs to protozoa. Let us take the paramecium. Paramecium, have seen that This paramecium is how it is. It is a, like a slipper. Slipper means cheppu. Cheppu. So paramecium is how it is, like a slipper. Hence it is called a slipper animalcule. Slipper animalcule. Paramecium is a slipper animalcule. So slipper animalcule. Paramecium, it is the surface, it has small finger like projections. These finger like projections are cilia. This cilia helps to the obtain of materials from the surface into the cytoplasm. So um, already I said, all green plants can prepare their own food, but a few plants, they exhibit parasitic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition. So this Cuscuta, it is, the genus is Cuscuta. It is also called a dodder plant. Dodder plant. It is a leafless, does not have leaf. Twinning parasitic plant, belongs to morning glory family, Convolvulaceae. The genus is contain about 170 twinning species that are widely distributed throughout the temperature and tropical regions of the world. So this plant, what is the specialty means? It is a plant, but it cannot prepare food because of it does not have leaves, and it grow around the another substratum, another plant, while growing onto the another plant. This Cuscuta or dodder plant should take the food material from other plant, either water and food, both taken from other plant. So dodder, it is a plant, it cannot prepare a food material, it takes food material from other. So that it is a parasitic plant, it exhibit a nutrition is called parasitic nutrition, which dodder. So in examination level it is very important, which plant exhibit parasitic nutrition means Cuscuta. It is also called dodder. It belongs to Convolvulaceae family, and it has 170 twinning species spread over entire world. So the dodder contains no chlorophyll because of the scientific name of the Cuscuta is Cuscuta reflexa. So found to very small amount. So now here this, because of not having chlorophyll pigments, it does not prepare the food material, and it can absorb the food material from other plant by the finger like projections are called Astoria. So how the um, dodder plant is obtained the food material from the other plant means Astoria. Astoria are what? They are the finger like projections. They may absorb the nutrients from other plant. They are the root like structures that penetrate into the tissue of the host plant, means another plant, may kill it. They are slender string like stems. That dodder may be yellow, orange, pink, brown in color. Its leaves reduced to minute scales. The dodder's flowers in node-like clusters are made up of tiny yellow white bell-like petals. So the dodder seed germinates, forming an anchoring root, and then the send up a slender stem that grows in a spiral fashion until it reaches a host plant, where it then twins around the stem of the host plant and forms Astoria, which penetrate through it. Water is drawn through the Astoria and from the host plant through xylem. Nutrients are drawn from its phloem. So meanwhile, the root rots away after stem contain contact has been made with a itself host plant. As the dodder grows, it sends out new Astoria and established itself very firmly on the host plant. After going in a few spirals around one host shoot, and the dodder finds its way to another, it continues to twine and branch until it resembles a fine, densely tangled web of thin stems enveloping the host plant. Identifying plants in your surrounding which are parasitic plant. So now here we go, and it is a dodder Cuscuta plant. Usually here I drawn that. So how the this is the host plant. Either you take straightly growing plant like uh, hibiscus and mainly hibiscus you imagine, and other plants also imagine they are straightly growing. When you show the seeds of that cuscuta, they may grow because of weak ability. They may surrounded the another plant stem. This is the hibiscus stem, and around this one the daughter plant is the cuscuta is growing. When the surrounding the growing, because of it is a twinningless leafless, it send projections, finger like projections into the stem of the another plant. By this these are the astoria. So the finger like projections are called astoria, and they may absorb the nutrients from this plant to the this one. So this is keep in our mind. So both food material is taken up and water is taken up. This is a very most important parasitic nutrition in cuscuta. In number of examinations you can see this one. And one thing you have to remember, the plants which exhibit parasitic nutrition, the best example is Dodder or Cuscuta plant.